Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Oh, a lot of action last night in the NAIA. Also, we're going to have Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Buckle up. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Well, let's do what we always do. Let's go through the top 25 in the conference action. Let's start in the Mid-South, where there's always a lot of exciting action. Freed Hardeman tonight, they had to go to Georgetown. Tough place to play. Freed Hardeman is one of the top. They're good. They beat Georgetown 84-63. Phil Horton, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Jalen Anderson, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Freed goes to 21-1. With this win, and they will be at Cumberland's on Saturday. Speaking of Cumberland's, they hosted Bethel tonight. They beat them 88-83. Cumberland's was down by 4 at half, but were able to come back and get the win. They needed this win. So they'll be, well, in this game, Kyle Duke, he had 24 points, 3 rebounds. Javecchio Thomas, 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's filling the stat line. And they're 18-3, and they will be hosting Freed Hardeman on Saturday. Speaking of, and we mentioned Georgetown with that loss, they go to 15-6, and they will host Bethel on Saturday. So let's take a real quick look. I think I gave you all the games except for Lindsey Wilson won again. That's important. I'll show you in the standings. Let's see the standings. So Freed is 6-0. Lindsey Wilson is 4-1. They're a game up on Cumberland's. What is that? 2 games up on Georgetown. This conference does not have very many games, so that's pretty important. Here's what's coming up on Saturday. These are all big games. Freed, as we said, is going to be at Cumberland's, Bethel at Georgetown. Lindsey Wilson will be at Cumberland. Keep your eye on the Mid-South, just like every other conference in America. In the GSAC, Arizona Christian falls again. Benedictine Mesa, just when you think maybe they've run out the string, they go to Arizona Christian, one of the toughest places in the country to win, and they beat them 89-83. Isaiah Howard, 19 points, 5 rebounds, and Damian Zivic, 18 points, So, Arizona Christian goes to 16-6, and they're going to host Embry-Riddle on Saturday. That is turning into a very big game. You'll see what I'm talking about. Hope had their hands full at Life Pacific. Congratulations to Evan Jenkins. I know you didn't get the win, but man, they're battling people hard. Life Pacific, a couple years, in the last few years has not really been that competitive, and he's got them playing great basketball. But Hope got the win. It was a real close game, but Hope just toughened up and got some stops down the stretch and got the win. They won 62-53. They go to 18-4. Big Nick Hopkins, 15 points, 6 rebounds. Amon Haynes, 16 points, 5 rebounds. The freshman Amon Haynes. Hope will be at the Masters on Tuesday. Hold it down. Mark on my calendar. Oh, that's going to be hot. Boy, that is a big, big game in the GSAC. Let's see why. Here's the rest of the action. Embry-Riddle won on the road, and the Masters won at home. Okay, so where does that put us? Oh, I went one too many. So the Masters is 1 game up on Hope, 1.5 on Benedictine. Now look at this. Embry-Riddle is, a half game back from Arizona Christian. That 4 line, those are the teams that make the playoffs. So if Embry-Riddle doesn't break into that top 4, their season's probably over. I mean, it's a good chance. So there's going to be a battle. So that game on Saturday, Embry-Riddle, Arizona Christian, has huge consequences. Oh, I went too soon again. I apologize. I just really want to get to the Nelson game, don't I? Okay, so here's what's happening on Saturday. Embry-Riddle is at Arizona Christian. The Masters is at Life Pacific. Evan Jenkins, the coach at Life Pacific, he's a little bit of he was kind of a mentor of Coach Stars. So as I've said before, that game always has special interest to me. And the Masters needs to keep winning because he's got Hope and Arizona Christian knocking on his door all night long. Okay, now we'll go over to the Sooner and we'll talk about Nelson. Nelson played Oklahoma Panhandle at home. Nelson was at home. You say, oh, no, they wanted to be trouble over there. Oh, no, they had trouble. This was a 1-point game with 13 seconds to go. Now, just like I talked about with Hope, Nelson stiffened up, got the last couple stops that they needed. They made the free throws and got the steals when they needed them. And they ended up winning 78-73. But hats off to Oklahoma Panhandle. Tough place to play there at Nelson, but that was a great game. Micah Clark, 26.7 rebounds. Jesse Iwize, 10 points, 11 rebounds for the double-double. And they go to 17-3, and they're going to host Wayland Baptist on Saturday. That should be a good game. That'll be wild. Wayland Baptist games, yep, that'll be wild. And Langston, same thing. Oklahoma City really battled them. Same exact formula. Langston just tightened up the D down the stretch, got the stops, and they ended up winning this thing 73-65. A good showing by Sam Conkey's group. They're just not getting over the hump to get those the signature road wins, but he'll get them there. So Langston comes away with the win. Orlando Thomas, 24 points, 6 rebounds. Antonio Lewis, 12 points, 2 rebounds. Langston goes to 16-4, and they're going to be at Southwestern on Saturday. Road game. Here's the rest of the action. I start a few. Mid-America Christian got the win over John Brown. You know about Langston. You know about Nelson. Let's look at the standings. This is where the bread and butter comes in. Boy, we're really getting down to crunch time. Nelson's still a game up on Langston. Look at that. Texas Wesley and Oklahoma City are just a game back from Langston. And then Wayland Baptist is lurking. See that? They are lurking. So on Saturday, Langston's going to be at Southwestern Christian. Wayland Baptist, as we said, will be at Nelson, and Central Christian will be at Oklahoma City. Langston's the only one of those three that has to go on the road. Well, Wayland Baptist does as well, but we'll have to see what happens. Big games in the Sooner Saturday. In the River States, LSU Shreveport, they beat Louisiana Christian. Shreveport was at home. They beat them pretty handily, 37 points. Yeah, that's pretty handily. Thaddeus Johnson, 20 points, 3 rebounds. Kai Wallace, 18 points, 7 rebounds. 16-4 is now Shreveport's record. And they're going to host LSU Alexandria on Saturday. That's a big game. That's a big game. Let's look at the rest of the results, and we'll talk about the standings. Alexandria was able to beat Texarkana. They were on the Alexandria was on the road. Our Lady of the Lake won at home, and Xavier won at home. You already know about Shreveport. Let's look at the standings. Look at that. LSU Alexandria is just knocking on the door. Shreveport just doesn't have any breathing room. Xavier's right behind them, and Texarkana is just right behind them. On Saturday, Alexandria, as we said, is going to be at Shreveport. That game has big significance. UNT Dallas is going into Xavier. That's a home game for Xavier, but still a big game. And Texarkana is going to host Louisiana Christian. Those are all big games. Our Lady of the Lake is playing Jarvis Christian, but Our Lady of the Lake is home. I expect them to carry that game. She'll watch that. I just jinxed them. We're at the AMC, American Midwest Conference, Columbia College. They beat Crowley's Ridge tonight on the road, 95-81. Johnny Anderson, 22.7 rebounds. Caleb Jones, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Columbia College goes to 19-2, and they're going to be at Williams Baptist on Saturday. take a look at the rest of the AMC. I think this might be really, really small. I apologize. The only other big game in the conference, Hannibal-LaGrange got the win, as well as Columbia. Why is that big? Look at the standings. Columbia's got a very, very slim half-game lead on Hannibal-LaGrange, and Williams Baptist is right behind there. On Saturday, Columbia will be playing Williams Baptist. That is the premier game in the AMC on Saturday, and you can see the rest of the schedule there. Southern States, William Carey, they were at Life. Huge game in the Southern States Conference. William Carey beat him by 15. William Carey just seems to be getting stronger every week. Malik Franklin, 20 points, 4 assists. Troy Dunn, 22 points, 3 rebounds. They go to 20-1, and they've got another test coming up. They have to travel up to Dalton State on Saturday. Here's the rest of the games in the Southern States. Loyola went to Dalton State and beat them. Faulkner went on the road, as did Mobile. Look at all those road wins. All road wins. Bruton Parker, this game got canceled at the bottom, but Bruton Parker is the only game in the Southern team in the Southern States that won at home. It was a bad day to be at home. Let's go to the standings. And then look at what's coming up on Saturday. So Life and Bruton Parker, they do East and West. Life and Bruton Parker and Dalton State are, what is that? They're all separated by 1.5, 2 games. In the East and the West, William Carey is really kind of carrying the water. Faulkner and Loyola are right behind them. What are the games on Saturday we need to watch? Well, Blue Mountain's going to go to Bruton Parker. I expect Bruton Parker to carry that at home. As I said, William Carey has to go to Dalton State, and Faulkner has to go to Thomas. That could be dangerous. And Loyola has to go to Life. So, yeah, that could be interesting too. Some very interesting games in the Southern States. Hey, let's take a look at the HBCU. Stillman got the win tonight. I didn't get a Tougaloo store. I don't know what the issue was, but anyway, I didn't get it. Suno won. The big game tonight, Dillard beat Philander Smith. That was a bit of an upset. It was 86-75. Take a peek at the standings. They also do the East-West thing. So Stillman is 8-2. Talladega is 7-2 in the East. In the West, Tougaloo, almost the exact same. Well, 8-2 and 6-2 to Philander Smith. As I said, Philander Smith fell tonight to Dillard. So on Saturday, games coming up that we need to keep an eye on. Paul Quinn is going to be at Tougaloo. Philander Smith now, after falling, has to go to Suno. No easy trip there. And Stillman has to go to Oakwood on Saturday. This Talladega Miles College, that's a non-conference game. That's a non-con. We're going to talk to, or we already talked to him. You're going to listen to Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon University, the Mountaineers. I really like Chris Kemp. He's a good guy. He's a straight-up guy. His team's playing really well. They took down College of Idaho on Tuesday. They had to go to Portland tonight and last night, and they played Warner Pacific, and they beat them. So I avoid the Billy D curse once again. But we talked about Eastern Oregon Mountie basketball, Cascade Conference, and of course I poked at him and teased him a little bit. No, but he's a great guy. His team is playing really, really well. Chris Kemp, Eastern Oregon Mounties. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Chris Kemp on the phone. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Welcome, Coach. Thanks for being on.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for having me.
So, Coach, you beat College of Idaho the other day. That's always a big win for your program. You're right up there. You're virtually tied for first in the Cascade Conference. Up to this point, it's been a very, very good season for the Mountaineers. I think you've got some young guys that are really performing well as well. Just talk a little bit about, where you feel this team is right now.
Yeah, it has been a good season, still some ups and downs, but we knew being at home, if we wanted to stay right in the thick of it, right in the top, we needed to get College of Idaho home. So that was big for us. coming off a tough road loss at LC State, which is always
Yeah.
really tough place to play, but knowing just to kind of hold serve at home, knowing if we can win our home games, we have a good chance to be right up there. It's been a really fun group to coach. We still only have one senior,
Yep.
so we feel like we've got some young guys that are maturing before our eyes a little bit, but it's a fun group because they're just bought in. We're just trying to get better. We're trying to, like they always say, but try to take it one game at a time and just try to improve every game. And every time we go out, try to be more consistent. So it's been fun.
I texted you after that game. I thought I've watched obviously Eastern Oregon play a lot of basketball games in my life. I thought that was the best performance I'd ever seen by an Eastern Oregon team. What impressed me was a couple things. The ball movement was really crisp, and you guys are really disruptive on defense. But one thing I noticed, this is what I wanted to ask you about. Logan Orchard makes very quick decisions and good decisions. Talk about how important he is up at the point.
Yeah, I think to start, like you said, it's just an unselfish group. Everyone just has bought into just always, passing up good shots for great and really finding their teammates and they've just bought into it. So it's been great. I think our defense that night was really locked in on our scout and felt like we were the more physical team, kind of the more tough team, and that's huge. We could go with some small lineups and it didn't affect us. But yeah, Logan, is only a sophomore, but we put a lot on his shoulders. He kind of carries the weight for us.
Mm-hmm.
His comfortability with the ball and against that zone was huge, just to start getting us in our stuff quickly. Because some of what they try to do is get you rushed, get you not into your stuff till 15, 18 seconds on the shot clock. And he did a great job of just kind of directing traffic, getting us in things, like you said, quick decisions. That's kind of what we had been preaching to him the whole time. Whatever we're in, let's just get in it and move the basketball. And it worked that night. So
Absolutely.
it was fun.
Hey, Coach, how much pressure do you feel out there at Eastern Oregon? Eastern Oregon has one of the top softball programs in the country, one of the top volleyball programs in the country, and year after year after year, the women's program, one of the top women's programs in the country. I mean, how much pressure do you feel to perform at a super high level there? It's expected at Eastern Oregon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think I feel more pressure, but there has been a standard in the athletic department that has, I think, gotten more and more since I've been around. This is my 5th year as the head coach, and you didn't even like the track and field, the cross country. They're ranked nationally, so
okay.
Just want to give them all the shout out. But it's true. Our athletic department is at a high level, which is what we're all striving for. But it's cool because all the coaches are really pulling for each other. Both our soccer teams went to the national tournament, which for us is kind of a newer thing. So it is, but it's just it's a great environment. A lot of coaches are just striving, pushing for each other. So it's fun to be here, and I don't think I feel more pressure than I do internally. That's where all my pressure comes from. So it's been fun.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Cascade Conference. Just before we started record, you and I were talking a bit about the conference. We're both kind of veterans of it, if you will. But I think this season, the conference is deeper. Used to be trips into Northwest and Evergreen were fairly routine. Now they're really giving teams a hard time. Warner Pacific performs really at a high level at home. And then, of course, you got, 5 teams almost within a game of first place. Just talk about the depth of this conference and the pressure it puts on you.
Yeah, I really think every night, especially when you're playing back-to-backs and especially on the road, no matter where you're at, is more than it's ever been. I think the parity in the league, as you see, like the top end is all right around each other, but then those middle pack teams, and then I think in years past there was a drop off at the bottom, but this year those teams could beat anyone on any given night, and we've said that, but I think even more. You're locked in these close games, and they're just talented groups. They've each got some players that can hurt you. So I think the parity in the league is as good as we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever seen Evergreen and Northwest. I think they were the weekend of Oregon Tech and Southern Oregon. They were all four games, I believe, were two possession games, and the home team led significantly at some point. So that was a change from what I've seen in the past years. Obviously, Northwest has had a bit more success than Evergreen, but Cameron Swanson has them a lot more competitive as well. So anyway, no easy nights, Coach.
For sure. Yep, you got to be ready all the time.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is you've got two freshmen, Cole Hammock and Isaiah Jones, that are performing at a really high level. I want you to talk about them, but I want you to also, if you look around the conference and around the country, there are so many freshmen that are just playing big boy basketball, and you have a couple as well. Talk about those two and talk about freshmen around the conference.
Yeah, both guys are just winners, and we knew coming in that was our hope. That's how we thought of them, that they could play right away. As far as Isaiah was the two-time 4A player of the year, two-time state champion, and Cole was the 5A player of the year. I think that shows itself in the conference as well. And you said nationally, I think with all the transfer portal kind of that scene, I think we're getting a chance at some better freshmen than we've ever got, some more ready guys. And it definitely shows in our conference. Obviously, I'm not as locked in nationally, but right. I just think the opportunities for high schoolers is much lower, where maybe some guys that are ready now, we're getting more of a chance to get them in. And I can really only speak to our team, and those guys we've targeted for a full 2 years. We recruited and really great families, great kids, just checked every box for us. So it's fun to see them keep growing and getting better, and our trust in them is just getting more and more.
When I look at your team, I look at efficient is the word that comes to mind, but you shoot well, you shoot the three extremely well. You also keep teams from make teams make less shots than you do. I guess I'll put it that way. You shoot free throws at an 80% clip. You out rebound. You don't turn the ball over. You have a high assist to turnover rate. What do you attest to how you build such an efficient team? Because that's first. You got to do things right, and then you can go out and beat the big boys, right?
Yep, for sure. I mean, you make it sound really good on paper, but we're still battling, and we might be middle of the pack if we lose a couple games. So it sounds good.
But you don't even have a chance though if you're turning the ball over and you can't stop people. But when I look at it, I guess I know what you're saying, Coach. But very few teams are efficient at all these different things: taking care of the ball, shooting, defending, shooting the free throws. Just kind of across the board, your team is just fundamentally strong.
Yeah, well, I think it is. We just kind of pride ourselves on a little of that versatility, but we know we got to just keep improving defensively. We know that travels. We know we can win on the road defensively if, on an off shooting night, which still happens. And I could point out a couple that happened to us. So
yeah, that's true.
We really stress it. We get a lot of shots up. We do a lot of skill work, but our biggest thing is trying to find that continuity on defense. And we've taken some steps, but you know how it is in college basketball. Some nights it feels like you take a step back, but we kind of pride ourselves on that versatility. We think that's what makes us who we are. We're little, so we have to all rebound. It can't be one or two guys. We have to gang rebound, and we're getting better, but we still got a long way to go.
Well, Coach, I really enjoy following you so far. I think I'll get a chance. I'll talk to you when we get done, but I think I'll get a chance to see you a couple more times before the regular season ends. But I really appreciate you coming on and spending a few minutes with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Your coverage of NAIA basketball is the best around, and we definitely appreciate it, and excited to see how things shake out in these last few games. And I know we're just hoping to make those last couple games, that home weekend, Oregon Tech and Southern Oregon, matter. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I think everybody's hoping that they matter. We said that at the start of the year, didn't we?
Yep, exactly.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot. That's Chris Kemp. He's the head men's basketball coach, Eastern Oregon Mountaineers. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Bill.
Hey, thanks a lot to Chris Kemp and to Eastern Oregon University. Hope you enjoyed that. He's a really good guy. Anyway, thank you. So I'm going to be, by the time you hear this, you hear me say this every Friday. By the time you hear this, I'm on the highway. I'm probably on the mountain by then, going down for basketball. Early game tomorrow. So I'll be driving with virtually no sleep because games got over late last night. But just go out this weekend. It's a good thing. Follow the conferences. See what's going on around the country. But man, be a fan first. If you're a fan first and you support your local team, all of what's going on around the country just makes a lot more sense. That's a lot more fun to follow. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. This is Billy D. I'll see you on Monday morning. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.